Alright, Gaerea is a modern atmospheric black metal band that has been blowing up recently alongside the likes of Magua, Watain, and Deathspell Omega. Some of my favorite bands that have been coming out with material in the black metal scene for a while now. In this vein is also bands like Abigail Williams, Aklis, and Winterfelleth. These bands completely destroy the notion that black metal has to have awful, unintelligible production. The rawness in this music comes from the intensity of the emotion portrayed in the music itself, not from overblown clipping tracks, single mic'd drums, and shitty, scratchy, treble-heavy guitar tones. Now, the legacy bands of the 90s definitely have their place, and they're still great in their own way. But these days, modern production is just too accessible for bands that have a following, they have appeal, and a label that can afford good production. Why would they kneecap their own records with overly raw production that will just turn people away? There's still a place in the scene for extremely raw black metal, but it is by no means a prerequisite for an album to be accepted by the black metal community. Now, Gaerea is another band that has clouded themselves in public anonymity by electing to wear cloth masks with just an ambiguous symbol that they all have on their face. Now, I have enjoyed the theme recently of people wearing masks. It's quicker and easier than wearing corpse paint, and it looks less silly, in my opinion, depending on the band. Also, like, all of the logistics of wearing makeup is just a nightmare, I'm sure, with sweat and everything else that happens. But one of the front men of the band have come on to an interview with Metal Injection and said that they want their music to be about the music and not about them, and about the emotion. So that's why they cover their face. They don't think it's important who they are. Now, their new album, Mirage, coming in at 8 tracks and 53 minutes long, is a fucking masterpiece. This album is everything I love in a modern black metal album. The production is flawless. It has moody, cracking vocals that really pull you into the emotion of the track. Awe-inspiring backing choirs. Overall fantastic technical drumming, and the bass always sounds huge and crunchy. The clean guitars sound beautifully crafted, full of reverb but not boomy or weak, and they don't have too much effects on them. The distorted guitars are definitely very saturated, but maintain a clarity to hear all of the sorrow-filled melodies that span this entire record. The melodic elements really shine through on this album without detracting at all from the raw black metal aesthetic. The melodies really bring in this sort of Magua-esque sound. Now, they aren't just overly cheesy melodic passages or anything like you might hear in some of the more mellow death stuff that's come out recently. These are like really sorrowful melodies. Like, they're not dissonant very much, but they still really pull your heartstrings. All of the vocals throughout the album go from like thunderous lows and group shouts, moaning cries, to like standard black metal shrieks, really bringing in a nice diverse lineup of vocal styles. The ambient sections on this album, I cannot emphasize enough, they are never boring. They really help build the tension, allowing for whatever explosive riff is about to come out next. They all keep you on your toes, on the edge of your seat, really, really making you interested in what turn the song's gonna take. Now, every single time there's a blast beat section that transitions into a double kick section, you can just feel like the power and the emotion that is pumping through that song, and it just kicks you right in the chest. Now, this album for me is a 10 out of 10. this is the best album that I've been listening to that's come out this year. Like, I haven't been this enamored with an album on release since 2019's Abigail Williams album, or even the Winter Filleth album that came out that year. There's just so much good stuff happening right now in the world of black metal, and I think that it's one of the last genres in the metal world that has like still grown like with its potential. Like the scene just keeps on going for more and more. I don't know what else the world can take from black metal, but I think they're willing to push whatever boundaries they got. So we'll look forward to whatever they have coming out next, and I highly recommend any of the other bands that I've mentioned in this review. Please go stream the Gaerea album Mirage and order some merch from them. Buy it on Bandcamp. I'll link their Bandcamp in the description, as well as the Spotify, to every other band that I mentioned in this review. And as always, take it easy.